Hey guys, welcome to today's photography tips video. I'm Danny Purrington and today we're going to be talking about my photography workflow and what I do from the shoot to delivery and everything in between to getting my photos to my clients. So let's talk about it. Missing someone with all your Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is on the shoot. Basically, I'm going to walk through everything I bring to the shoot and what I do to ensure that everything I'm doing is being recorded properly and I'm backing myself up in case something is corrupt, which can happen. So here's basically what I bring to every shoot, whether it's a wedding, engagement, couple session, portrait session, yada yada. The cameras that I bring, I have two Canon 5D Mark IIIs, and the reason I have the Mark IIIs and not the 4s yet is because I just haven't bought the 4 yet, and I don't want to have a 4 with a 3 because I feel like they shoot differently, and so the colors are actually different when you're trying to edit, which can take longer in the edit process. So I stick to 2 3s for now. Eventually I will move up to 2 4s, but that day has not come yet, so I'm still on the Mark IIIs. Those are basically the camera bodies that I bring with me on my shoots, and then the lenses that I bring with me are my Sigma 35mm 1.4. It's an awesome lens. I love it. It's so sharp. I definitely recommend. I also bring my Canon 50mm 1.2, the L series, which love that lens. It's fantastic. And then I also bring my 70-200 Canon, which is like a beast lens. I feel like I'm a stalker when I usually use it, but the only time I really use that lens is for the ceremony, and sometimes I'll use it for the reception, but mostly it's for the ceremony so I can get the close shots without being in their face. I like prime lenses more than I like the actual zoom lenses where you can change the depth. The reason I like the prime lenses is because I feel like they're more sharp. And a lot of other photographers agree with me, but the Canon 24-70 lens is very versatile for wedding days. I do recommend that lens as well. It's just not as sharp as a prime lens would be. So that's why I have 2 cameras with me, and that's why I can usually get by with just having the 2 and getting the really sharp images I like. It's primarily up to preference, but you know, you can do either. So I have those as my lenses and my gear. I also have my holdfast straps, which are fantastic for carrying 2 cameras. You can just go, you know. And then for memory, I bring a bunch of compact flash memory cards, which are CF cards, if you don't know. And basically I bring them in a little case like this, and I just flip them out, and if they've been used, I will flip them around and put them in my little case like that, so I know that that card has been used and it's full of stuff that I don't want to delete yet or format my card with. So a lot of my cards, as you can tell, are not in this case because they are being used currently, but I bring them in a case like this. I usually keep this in my pocket or in my shoot sack, which I also carry with me, and that can hold my water bottle, my camera lenses if I'm not using them, my phone, my keys, stuff that I don't want like in my pockets or in my purse. I just put them in my little shoot sack and it can hold everything and it's really comfortable. So I bring the CF cards, and then I bring also SD cards, which are the small ones. If you have the Canon 5D Mark III or 4, there are 2 slots that you can put memory cards into. I recommend using both slots, especially for wedding days, because it backs up the photos. So you can do, if you go to your settings in your camera and you put record to multiple, it will record to both cards, and that way if like your compact flash card goes corrupt, everything is still on the SD card. So I use a 64 gigabyte SD cards, and I basically just have them in my camera the whole day. And then I switch out the compact flash cards because they're only 32 gigabyte. So that's the way that I do that, to make sure I'm backing myself up and not losing any photos, because that would be awful. So I have about 10 CF cards I bring with me to every wedding, and I bring 3 SD cards. They're each 64 gigabytes, and make sure you get the Extreme Pro SD cards, because if you get anything slower or not as professional, then it'll actually slow down your camera. So if you're anything like me, I like to take a lot of photos all at once. I go, you know. So if you have anything slower than this, it won't register to the cards as fast. So definitely get the fastest cards you can if you're anything like me and you just shoot a lot. Next, you finish the shoot, you're home now, you have all your cards. So here's what I do. The minute I get home from any shoot, I start uploading my cards. The way I do that is I ingest through Photo Mechanic, and I upload them to 2 hard drives. The hard drives that I currently use are my G Drive hard drives, and I will put a link to Amazon, those hard drives, in the description below if you want to purchase them. I haven't had any problems with them. They've been really great. A couple of hard drives I had problems with are Seagate. Seagate was just like a really old hard drive and it crashed. I was able to recover the data, but it's very pricey to do that, and I highly recommend you're backing up your stuff, because you do not want to pay $1,600 just to recover a hard drive when you could have just backed everything up onto a second one. So lesson learned for me, and moving forward, that is not happening anymore. But the other hard drives that I have had a problem with are Lacy drives. They do have the travel ones with like the cover on them, but I have had problems with them in the past, and they make a lot of grinding noises, and they haven't been able to register to my laptop or my computer. So G Drive, do it. I ingest to both cards. You can actually, when you're ingesting in Photo Mechanic, which is a software I'm putting a link to in the description below. Lots of references today, so definitely check out the description. But Photo Mechanic can ingest to 2 cards, or 2 hard drives, which basically means it's inputting all of the info on the card into 2 hard drives. So the way I used to do it was just like pull up the card in my computer or desktop and just like grab all the photos and then like copy them into a raw folder on one of my hard drives, and that just took forever. So Photo Mechanic has been really easy for me to just upload to the card to both hard drives, really simple, really fast. And then when the card is done, you can then just upload the next one and select the primary and secondary destinations when you're ingesting, and you can just choose both hard drives and do that. I also, on each hard drive, go into each client's folder. I make a wedding folder, and then I make a raw folder, and I upload all the raw photos into the raw folder. And then when I've finished editing the wedding, I will make another folder like edited or teasers, and then I'll put those specific photos into each folder. So that's how I organize that. Okay, so you've uploaded everything, you're ready to go. First thing I do is I send teasers to all my clients. So if it's a wedding day or if it's an engagement a couple days later or the day after, I will try and get photos out to them as soon as possible so that they can see their photos, because if you're anything like me, I was so anxious to see my wedding photos when I was married, and I was so stoked to get teasers. So I definitely do that as soon as possible. So I'll go through Photo Mechanic, I'll just select a couple of my favorites from each section of the day on a wedding. So whether it's the getting ready, some of the romantics, which are the one-on-one photos, some of family, and some of the reception, but not all the photos, obviously. So I'll select about like 100 to 200 photos, and then I will create a new Lightroom catalog, and I will put it in that client's folder on one hard drive. And then I will upload those tagged photos from Photo Mechanic into Lightroom. And it's really simple. You just grab all the photos from Photo Mechanic and you just drag them into the import section on your Lightroom. So Photo Mechanic is awesome. But when you do that, you import, and then I just edit all those photos, export them to a teasers folder on both hard drives, again, ensuring I've backed up on each hard drive, and then I deliver the photos. Eventually, when I have finished editing the wedding, here's my delivery process. I upload everything to Pixieset. Yes, Pixieset is the software I use to deliver my photos. There is a link below if you want to check out Pixieset if you don't have it. I've never had any problems with Pixieset. I love the interface, but I have heard great things about PicTime as well, which is a competitor. So definitely look into either or, figure out what you like more. So I upload everything to Pixieset, and I actually create different collections or sets within each collection. So for example, a wedding I shot, like let's say Shannon and Tyler, I have each set of the day, so like getting ready, family photos, bridal party photos, ceremony, romantics, and then reception. So I will categorize each thing and I'll put the photos into each like set. And then I'll also have a highlight set, so it basically has all of my favorite photos in that highlight set. So that's the first thing they see when they get the gallery. So they'll scroll through the highlights, and then once they get to the bottom of that Pixieset set, it'll say view more photos, and then it'll take them to the next set, which is the getting ready. So I usually deliver about 900 to, I would say 1200 is about the max I've ever sent. Between that range is what I usually send for an 8-hour wedding, and then a little less than that for 6-hour weddings, and a little more for 10-hour weddings. So lots of photos to go through and edit. And then I also send some really special stuff to my clients. I'm not going to share them because I think they're really special, and if one of my clients is watching this, I don't want you to know. But basically I send them something special, just a little extra, and that is also sent to them as a way of just like thanking them for hiring me, because client experience is so important to me and I love all my clients, so I just send them a little something extra. But that's basically the workflow of what I do with all my photos, because there's a lot of information there and a lot of things you need to keep track of. So hopefully that helps you. If it has helped you in any way, I would love to hear it. Please comment below. You know, I love hearing from you guys. And if you have any questions, feel free to also comment below. I would love to do a video on just Q&A stuff. So if you have any questions or you want to email me or comment below, I would love to answer your questions in one video. And hopefully I'll be putting that together soon. But that's it. I hope that's helped you guys. Have a great day, and make sure to subscribe if you aren't already.
Missing someone.